Yuba-Sutter.live's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at plumaslakeselfstorage.com.
Dan's obviously an important part of our team and gets a lot of kudos, and they're all deserved.
I think the council itself is growth-minded. I see that. I've been in Marysville, like I said, since 2005. This is the most growth-minded council that I've ever seen, proactive. And Dan, too. Dan's a big part of it. I mean, a lot of this, a lot of help from all of you guys. I mean, it's making a difference. Marysville's growing because of the effort that we're all putting in. So, and, just even Victor, the inspector, I mean, helping me out, bending over backwards, coming in and doing inspections when I'm like, hey, we're trying to sheetrock tomorrow. Can you come in and do a framing inspection this afternoon?
Yeah.
And he's doing that for us. So, yeah, if you want to do business, Marysville is a good place to do business.
Awesome.
So through the chair.
Sir.
So, Chris, we've known each other a while. And so, I mean, I remember when you bought the place in 2005, like you said. And I was a member back then. And then, that wonderful social experiment happened. And things went another way. I just recently rejoined back up with Training Zone about 2 months ago. And I'm honestly going to be a little sad and nostalgic with what I spent there. But I'm actually looking forward to seeing the new facilities. When we had a conversation, I don't even know how many years ago, about the idea of this, and your vision for what you want to do with the new place and what you want to do with the current establishment you have it's awesome for Marysville. And I just want to say thank you for your energy. And I mean, for a guy who loves projects, you're a couple octaves above me. So I appreciate what you are doing and what's going to happen for this city. Yes, there will be vacuum on D Street for a short time until we find something else to go into that place. But yeah, I'm looking forward to a good gym. And I love free weights. You got 3 benches. You need more. Okay, so let's just get a few more in there and go from there. Because I hate waiting in line for. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Well, it's successful, so that's the way it works.
Chris, thank you very much for everything you're doing with Marysville and your business and your family and so forth. So, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks.
I'm fairly familiar with the project as it's moved through the different phases, and I think you guys are doing a fantastic job. Can't wait for the grand opening over there. But I really want to applaud you and Justine and you guys as a family unit, because a lot of people in development or expansion or in real estate would just leave the empty building and try to sell it and try to get away from it and just focus on the new. And you guys are committed to this community, just like we are as a council and staff and even everybody sitting here. And I wish we had 100 more business owners like you in this town, because you're part of the community, part of the family, the Marysville family, and it's encouraging to have folks like you in our community. So I hope that we can keep seeing big growth happening. So I look forward to seeing what is going to happen with D Street. Thank you for everything you're doing.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I think there are other people out there who are looking and seeing that this side of the river is growing, and the positive that's happening, the mindset shift that's happened. And I think there's going to be other people who are trying to develop. I mean, we've got the apartment complex next to the Brick, the project on B Street. Things are happening, guys. So we just need to keep moving.
Amen. Well, we'll look forward. I'm looking forward already to the grand openings, ribbon cutting, and all that. Front page of the paper, and well, you're going to deserve a lot of fanfare when that thing opens. I was fortunate enough, and I know some others have had tours during construction. I was so impressed, really impressed. I'm really looking forward to this. Looking forward to the opening, and we'll invite you back after you get it all set and going, and you can tell us how things are going.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you, Justine, for being here. Chris. Bravo, bravo. Oh, you bet. Yeah. Be well. Let's see. Coach Rossellini still in traffic? Then we're going to move on. Is that okay? No, well, no. If that's your choice, that's what we'll do. Friends. Next on the agenda is Extra Mile Day proclamation to the Coach Rossellini cleanup crew. And if the crew members who are here would join me. Hi. Please. Turn around for pictures. Test. Third time. First of all, before I read this proclamation, which is so well deserved, I live right on Ellis Lake, and your team has taken it upon yourselves. It's your own initiative. No one asked you. You just saw something where you could make a difference, and you have. It's been landscape beautification in some parts, some maintenance that hadn't been picked up on yet, and you did. And in some areas, in one area not far from where I live, the trimming of this tree overhanging took away a homeless place for bedding down and carrying on. And God bless those folks, but they're not supposed to be there all night. And I am so happy to have you here, and I hope, Coach, I'm going to go real slow here, and maybe the coach will get here before I'm done. Anyway, this is so well deserved. We have the proclamation here, and it reads, Extra Mile Day. Whereas Marysville, California is a community which acknowledges that a special vibrancy exists within the entire community when its individual citizens collectively go the extra mile in personal effort, volunteerism, and service. Amen. And whereas Marysville, California is a community which encourages its citizens to maximize their personal contribution to the community by giving of themselves wholeheartedly and with total effort, commitment, and conviction to their individual ambitions, family, friends, and community. Before I go on to the next whereas, and I've seen you driving around on off days just to see how things are going. That's above and beyond. I think it's fabulous. Well, there you go. And whereas Marysville, California is a community which chooses to shine a light on and celebrate individuals and organizations within its community who go the extra mile in order to make a difference and lift up fellow members of their community. And whereas Marysville, California acknowledges the mission of Extra Mile America to create 550 extra mile cities in America and is proud to support Extra Mile Day on November 1st, 2023. That'll all come back, or November. Oh, no, that's already passed. I apologize. Well, we're one of them, and we had that in November 23. Now, therefore, be it resolved, I, Chris Branscombe, Mayor, and the Marysville City Council, my friends and colleagues, do hereby proclaim November 1st, 2023, that's when you're supposed to be here the first time, to be Extra Mile Day. We urge each individual in the community to take time to not only go the extra mile in his or her own life, but to also acknowledge all those who are inspirational in their efforts and commitment to make their organizations, families, community, country, or world a better place. And I was so proud to sign this on behalf of the city. And present to now, how many spokespersons do we have here? I hope all of you. Only one? Okay.
Say something?
Please. Anything that comes to mind.
Okay, well, usually John is much better at this than I am, so I'm going to hurt him. Actually, I wanted some of our main people that show up, like Sandy and James. Sandy and James are retired, and literally they are at that lake more than anybody. And if I did not have them, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't know what to do. We'd have days where we'd put toters out. I don't even have to go and do that at night anymore because they've already got them done. And Bridget when she can get out there, but a lot of us work. So in major cleanups, that's Bridget. She puts them to work. That's good though. But literally, this is my sister Carla and her husband Curtis. And Curtis keeps buying some new tool that we need. So we got those long little grabbers that go on the lake. So that was a fun day that one day. But I mean, we couldn't do it. We could not do it without the crew that we have right now. So just thank all of them. It's not just and John? Oh, Sean from Public Works. If we did not have him involved with, I can make a simple phone call or a text, and he is on it. I'm telling you, if it wasn't for him, we would not be getting the stuff done that we need to get done. Yeah, I'm sure. I told him to watch this, so. Yeah. Sean's just like rocking it for us. So that's mainly it. We actually are enjoying it. It's first of all, it's great exercise, and we can see when we drive by it how much better it looks. And how many more people are out there now. So we're just. Yeah.
Please.
Oh, I apologize. It's giving is it on? Yeah. It's giving the city more time to do what they need to do on cutting the bushes that we don't get to, since we're out there, well, they're out there most of the time cleaning all the garbage up. So it is giving them a lot more time to beautify also.
I'm trying to remember if I saw any of y'all at the gathering we had at the Elks Club recently. That's what I thought. I thought I saw y'all. And there's another gathering coming up February this Saturday, 10 a.m., Elks Club. And again, our landscape architect, who is just a genius of that's right. I don't know anything. It's going to be Core Charter Academy. It's going to be Core Charter Academy, 10 a.m. this coming Saturday. If it's anything like the last presentation, it'll be really wonderful. I'm so impressed by. First, I'm impressed by the skill that we've brought to the game here, and then even more impressed by the response. There were 125 plus people there, and it was. I walked in the room. I was like 1 minute late, and I was stunned. It was full. Great response. People care about that lake. The lake is an important jewel, and it needs to be refreshed. And you guys and y'all are giving it wonderful life in the meantime. Please accept this. And I'm just so pleased to be part of honoring you along with the council. Sir.
Chair, I'd like to make additional comments. So first of all, what's the name of your group? How did you come up with the name of the group? Actually, and then before you tell us this, why don't you guys come into the room and stand behind this podium and look back at your audience, because I'm going to ask a few more questions.
Okay.
But how did you come up with the name of this group?
Well, my father is Marino Rossellini, and he's a teacher at Marysville for a short time, and then spent most of his years at Lyndhurst High School. And when he pretty much passed away, it wasn't our family grieving; it was the whole town of Marysville and Olivehurst grieving too. And so he's always wanted to do something with the city. He planted how many trees? Him and Mom would go around with these big blue buckets in the back of their truck and water them. I think it was close to, I want to, honestly,
several hundred.
There was a lot of trees around the businesses. And so we just kind of wanted to follow in his footsteps. What can we do, since Dad's gone now, what can we do to honor him? So we decided to make a Coach Rossellini cleanup crew. Right now, we know he's watching. He's pretty proud of us.
Yeah. So that's an amazing honor for your father. And your father was Coach Rossellini. I did not have him, but I knew of him when I went to Lyndhurst High School. And you have commanded the community the same way he did his students. So not only are you Coach Rossellini cleanup crew, and forgive me for taking this time, but it's really important. Not only are you Coach Rossellini cleanup crew, but you also manage every moment on a social media platform, which is extremely active. You have how many members?
460.
So you have over 400 members.
Yeah.
Even though, really, 5 of you are there on a regular basis. And this is the other thing I want you to do for me, and please forgive me if I'm going to embarrass you, but I want your full names, because I know exactly who you are. But I want everyone else to know who you are, because you are there every day. Everything you do, you share with precision, and you let everyone know how much you've done for the community. And you manage all of this beautifully. And I can't tell you what a relief it is to read your constant posts and comments. You keep us informed, and everyone sees it. And you with your kids, thank you, because you're setting a beautiful example, and everyone in the community knows it. I think a lot of people are very jealous because not everyone has the amount of time. So we as a council really appreciate this. Is an Adopt a Park program, and it's one of the most successful. And there can be more. I don't want to take away your sun and your brightness, but almost all of our parks can be just as. Ellis Lake is the jewel of Marysville, but you've done an outstanding job. You are supporting the Public Works Department. There is no way the Public Works should spend as much time as they do on the parks as you do, and you've transformed the image and the perspective that people have of Marysville, and we can't thank you enough. Oh, but you didn't tell I need your names. You 3 that are not Rossellini's, that are not related by marriage or 500 family members.
Yeah, my name is James Fleenor.
There you go, there's James.
Sandy Barkey.
Sandy.
I don't want to use this. Bridget Deemer.
Bridget Deemer. Okay.
You just give this to me.
All right.
I can talk about it.
It's working.
Okay. I just wanted to say also that we are noticed by the community of people that we do not know, whether we're walking, people on the street driving by actually honk and they wave. Whether it's either a homeless person or just a regular person walking that lake, everybody almost acknowledges and always says thank you. So people that maybe are not even in our group are noticing that there's people walking around, and I figured I was going to be called the darn cart lady because I have to pull a cart and put my stuff in there. But people do acknowledge us. They say thank you and they wave and honk. So.
Y'all can do whatever you darn well please. Whatever you please. Bless y'all. That was worth making a big deal about, wasn't it? Okay, friends, we now moved to the Community and Consent Calendar Forum. Individuals wishing to address the council concerning consent calendar items or on matters not already on the agenda are invited to make oral comments of up to 3 minutes. If you'd like to comment and you're here in person, you can get a speaker's card from the city clerk. If you're participating via Zoom, raise your hand, and in order, you will be recognized. If you haven't done it yet, don't worry about it. We'll get to you. You're requested to address your comments to the council and not to the audience. And by state law, this is a reminder, by state law, in case you notice the council doesn't respond, it's because the council is not permitted to undertake any action or discussion on any item not appearing on the posted agenda. If you have any documentation you'd like to be distributed to the council, please mail it to City Clerk, 526 C Street, Marysville, 95901. Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mayor. Our first speaker will be Mike Reed.
What's the name again?
Thank you. And this is on, right?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Good evening, Mayor Branscombe.
Sir.
Good evening, Vice Mayor Betticavoli and council members.
And you'll introduce yourself,
My
please?
name is Mike Reed, and I'm here representing the Marysville Elks Lodge. We don't call it a club, we call it a lodge, and it's lodge number 783. And again, we just hosted, thank you for the input, hosted the community town hall you had on January 20th regarding the park at Ellis Lake. And what a great thing to have this group that was here. I came tonight really because I think that when we think of the Elks Lodge, community mindedness is one of the things we really strive for. And even though something may seem small, we try to make sure that we give feedback where feedback is due. Unfortunately, Mr. Carraz isn't here tonight because the Public Works Department is in the scope of our thinking tonight. And what I came to do was present, and I'll give these to Nicole in just a second, a couple of plaques to members of your Public Works Department. Let me tell you why. Back late June, unfortunately, we had our flagpole vandalized in front of the lodge. The halyard was sawed through, and it's a cable, so it was sawed through. And the flag came down. We found, unfortunately, our U.S. flag stuffed in a mailbox, and they stole the POW flag. And it took us a while to figure out how we were going to repair the system because we probably hadn't done maintenance on that flagpole for maybe 20 years, 25 years. But a call went out to the Public Works Department. And you heard his name already here tonight, Mr. Sean Davis. Sean Davis responded to that call. He set up an opportunity to have the city's boom truck come over with another gentleman named Mr. Jaime Villacana. And I'll talk about Jaime in just a second, the importance of him. Those gentlemen arranged the time to come and meet us at the Elks Lodge with the boom truck and help us replace the halyard, replace the block and tackle system that went with that, replace the clips that go up with the flag, and also make sure that our lock box that locks that flag off is functioning properly. You know, and I think tonight, what a nice night for the council to hear just different accolades from different people. But even though this may seem really small, for us at the Elks Lodge, it was incredibly important to have the city's assistance with this. So with all due respect, we want to give a plaque. We can have that, I'm sure, passed down through Mr. Carraza to Mr. Jaime Villacana. And here's what the amazing thing was about Jaime, who was up in the boom truck with all the safety equipment on, noted in the small picture here. Jaime was an 8-year veteran of the Marine Corps, having served in Afghanistan and Kuwait. And it will always touch me to know that as he was coming down after we got the flag positioned, he came down in that boom truck at full salute. It was actually quite touching. And at the bottom, Mr. Davis and I was able to snap a picture of them, both giving the Marysville thumbs up. And so I think when you think about the people you hire here in Marysville, the spirit you want with them, with this town, those two gentlemen certainly represented the spirit I think you want and could be proud of as a city council. So, Nicole, I'll give these to you. Thank you for the time, and thank you again for having such fine gentlemen in your Public Works Department.
Mike, this has been a memorable moment. Really. And mean, really memorable. This was news to me. I'm glad you came and shared this. Really meaningful. Thank you so much.
Sometimes small things really have great meaning.
Good. Thank you, sir. And I might add, the Elks Club was just the absolute perfect venue for the first public discussion of what we're planning to do with Ellis Lake right across the street. And you may have noticed that there's a bench, a table and benches that's no longer there. There was, I call it an attractive nuisance, at least as it was. And I hope that's a continuing issue, but it's one we have our minds on, that's for sure. Bless you all. Thank you. Wow. Madam Clerk.
No further speakers, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay. We now move to the consent calendar, which is the business of the council today. All matters on the consent agenda are considered routine and are therefore approved by one motion unless a council member or the city manager or his designee here tonight first requests that a matter be removed from the consent agenda for separate discussion and action. What is the will of the council?
We'll need to pull it. I request a little bit of a conversation about this request for a catastrophic leave donation. Just a little conversation. I read it, but I did not necessarily remember having a conversation about it.
Just a moment. Is that on the agenda?
It is. Apologize. Item number 3.
Oh, there it is. I thought it was there. I just kept reading over it. Okay. We will pull number 3 then.
Thank you.
And with respect to the balance of the consent calendar, do we hear a motion?
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
Aye.
Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
That was unanimous, Madam Clerk. Okay. We then pull, Madam Clerk, this one's on you. Item number 3, catastrophic leave side letter. Recommendation is pass a motion to approve 1, an appropriately numbered resolution, and 2, the attached side letter for the following City of Marysville bargaining units: Marysville Mid-Managers and Executive Group, Marysville Police Officers Association, both sworn and non-sworn, and Teamsters Local 137. Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Councilmember Hudson, would you like to start?
So it seems as though you're trying to make a bank. Have we had a bank in the past?
So it's not necessarily setting up a bank. It's the ability for any employee to ask and or donate to that requester.
If I may, ma'am, would you kind of explain the background of what this is so that when we discuss it, there's more information?
Absolutely.
Please, thank you.
So catastrophic leave in general is mismatched depending on which bargaining unit and or absent in other MOUs. The purpose of catastrophic leave is for an employee who is expected or already has exhausted all of their leave banks due to a medical procedure, medical issue with their family. Once that happens and they know they are either going to be out long enough to exhaust all of their leave banks or they already have, they can submit a simple email and or verbal conversation with me for a request for donated time.
If I may. So we have different bargaining groups within the city. So, and all of them have different agreements and purchases and so forth. You're trying to make an agreement that any bargaining unit could put into a bank?
Not necessarily into a bank. What it is it's trying to get all of the bargaining groups onto the same page. So, for example, currently Teamsters doesn't have catastrophic leave either available to them or to donate. Sworn and non-sworn for the POA has the same language, but then fire didn't have the same language. So should an employee request time, we didn't have hardened language to actually go by. When it comes to the payroll cycle, because we get paid monthly, we group all of the donated time together, and that actually gets processed through Kathy. And within the proposed changes, what will happen is we'll only take the average hours per donation to make sure that the employee is whole. So if somebody donates 40 hours and another employee donates 60, if that person only needs 20 hours, we're going to take 10 hours from each employee that donated.
So, I mean, I guess because of the fact you got several different bargaining units you're trying to work this with, every bargaining unit is at a different pay scale, but you're talking hourly.
Correct.
Not necessarily sure I want to get into the weeds on the pay scale. I'm just kind of curious. So this is it superseding something we already have in place, or is it just creating something new?
Both, depending on which bargaining group you belong to.
That's kind of the question, because that's where it gets a little muddy.
Correct. So as of right now, fire has a current structure where they can only donate down. And
I'm sorry.
Donate.
Excuse, I didn't even apologize.
Oh, no.
Donate down from their supervisorial position, or?
Correct.
So, I mean, a captain can donate down to an engineer could donate to a firefighter.
The firefighter and engineer cannot donate up to captain.
Yeah, okay, that's where it got muddy.
Correct.
So
with that being said, and actually the executive and manager group could not donate as well because we were currently silent in our compensation plan.
And this would rectify the fact that the mid-management can donate.
Correct. And of course, we would be donating down.
But they could not donate
scale.
up. So you, as mid-management or whoever else is mid-management, couldn't participate in this bank?
Correct. We couldn't participate in the donation, nor if it came down to it, we could not ask for hours.
So where does mid-management sit with this?
So City Manager Shad is actually taking the stance of, because we are not officially represented when it comes to negotiations at the table,
True.
that he would pass this for the good of the group.
All right. That actually answers it. I'm just trying to figure out the muddiness of the whole thing. It was, I read this, and I did read the agenda, and I was like, I just had to ask some questions here. So you guys are donating down, and then it's up to our city manager to decide for management. And again, not wanting to get in the weeds of pay, it just kind of, I understand catastrophic leave. Been part of a couple of unions myself, so I do appreciate the idea. I guess so we're going to pass this tonight without answering all my questions, and I'm kind of okay with that. That's all I got. Thank you.
Madam Clerk, as I was briefed on this, I understand the big picture. Each member of each group has some catastrophic leave benefit, right? And if one individual happens to have big catastrophe that requires extra time, then that person, others can donate, given the restrictions and what.
They're above the rank,
to help them
yes.
out. It's as simple as that. It's obviously there's some mechanics that need managing.
That is correct, Mayor.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? So will the council.
So on the vagueness, I move to approve
We have a
because I
motion.
understand the idea. So yes, I move to approve.
Moved and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Madam Clerk,
Aye.
that was unanimous. It is unanimous. Thank you. Okay, we'll move very quickly now through committee reports and comments. Councilman Belza.
No committee reports, council comments. I love meetings like this where we get to have a lot of engagement with the community and see all the progress and hear about all the great stuff that's going on, because we do things here with the city and staff and everything, but to see the community involvement, and appreciate your awards back to some of our staff tonight from the Elks Lodge. And it's just, I don't know, I love this town with all my heart, and it's just cool to see all the involvement and all the great things going on. So anyways, that's it. Thank you, everybody.
Councilman Gilchrist.
No council comments and no committee reports this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Hudson.
I got no committee reports and no comments beyond the fact that I just appreciate our staff. I mean, I read, our streetlights project, which, Councilman Gilchrist is also on top of, and get things going. And one of our constituents is always hounding several of us to make sure that the streetlights are working. And to get that information out there, and transparency is key. I love transparency. I hate zero communication. So thank you for everything that our staff does in that aspect.
Mr. Vice Mayor.
I don't have any committee reports, but I did want to just thank Dan for the way we're now, and staff, I assume, the way we're doing these ribbon cuttings now as being a piece of Marysville, not just a piece of the chamber. So I just think it really represents us better doing it that way. So really, thank you.
May, real quick?
Sir.
Again, wanted to thank staff for all the hard work and diligence that we've had towards our B Street property development and everything that's going on there. That is a lot of work, as well as, staff Nicole dealing with HR stuff and all of our contracts and so forth. And during our recent winter storm, which happens every year, both our police department and our fire department and our public works were overtaxed for like 2 days. And I just want to thank you guys for all of your work and the fact that I can never get the siren out of my ear and just what's going on. And guys did a rock star job for Marysville PD, Marysville Fire, and Public Works. It was a good job. We've always got the possibility of potential internal flooding with pumps failing, whatever the case is. And I mean, a couple of years ago, we were filling sandbags as we had a heavy rainstorm. And, thank you guys. Appreciate that. Here we are sitting on this dais, which I hate because we're on a show, but it is one of those things that it's the staff that does the job. We just make the decisions. Thank you guys.
I will confess to being touched deeply by the input from our friends at the Elks Club, Coach Rossellini's group, and those brave entrepreneurs who are picking up and moving their entire business across town in a beautiful new facility, and then undertaking something wonderful in the spot they're vacating, as Councilman Belza pointed out. It was excellent that you pointed that out. Been a good meeting, real good meeting.
Short.
Well, that too. Madam Clerk, any council correspondence?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. All council members received a letter from Eileen Schmidbauer dated January 29th and an email invitation from John Lim regarding participation in the BOK-KAI weekend coming up in March. More details are in your inbox here at City Hall.
You may speak.
Sorry. So John Lim has, who is doing a lot of work with the BOK-KAI Festival coming up, asked me to help in all my spare time that I have with a rib contest that's going to be going on the day after the BOK-KAI parade.
A what contest?
A rib cooking contest.
Ah.
So I will not be cooking. I will be doing the logistics. That is going to happen Sunday the day after, and I...
Do you need any judges?
That was my job, making this happen. So we'll be talking more on that later. I just am excited about the BOK-KAI event coming up again here relatively soon and what it means to the history of Marysville. I feel as though I've done a lot of talking tonight, which is not my usual fashion, so that's all I got. Thank you.
The city manager, Mr. Shadden, and Vice Mayor Bettacavoli and I had a meeting out at the Hard Rock with one of their officials a couple days ago. And you ought to see the beautiful decor they put up in advance of BOK-KAI. I mean, really, really beautiful. They're in the spirit. Let's see. Mr. Flores, do you have anything instead of Mr. Shad?
I do. Just 4 brief announcements. First of all, Mr. Mayor, another ribbon cutting coming up, Vice Mayor. The ribbon cutting coming is Horizon Medi Spa on D Street. They are going to provide food for everybody. They specifically called out our police and fire and hoped that they would attend as well, and Public Works, and they invited all of the city to attend. At 1 o'clock, they're providing Indian food, they said, and then they have a very state-of-the-art facility that they're opening up in their Medi Spa. You'll be very impressed by that.
I'll tell you what, police and fire showed up in mass when the bakery had their opening, so we're expecting them at this one too.
That'd be awesome. So we hope you guys can all attend. So it's at noon 1 p.m. on February 12th on Monday, and it's right behind City Hall here. Okay, second announcement, the Ellis Lake Community Input Meeting, as you mentioned earlier, Mr. Mayor, is at Core Charter School at 10 a.m. on Saturday. It will go from 10 till noon, and pizza will be provided by our own city manager, Mr. Shad, so please attend. If for nothing else, the pizza will be there. But we could really use the input and hope that everybody does attend. The last one was really successful. And the third announcement I have is that the B Street project that Councilman Hudson mentioned tonight is coming to the Planning Commission tomorrow night. It has been a great deal of work, but we're very excited. The planning is going very well, and we are ahead of schedule for all of that, and then we'll come to City Council on the 20th of February. So we're looking forward to that recommendation coming from the Planning Commission tomorrow night. And the last announcement I have is that we'll be prepared for February 20th for a rather long presentation from community development as an update. So it'll be about 20 minutes or so. So I'll try to bring snacks so you can make it through it. But it's a 20-minute presentation, so hang in there. So
who approved that?
Yeah. I had to really press Jim on that one. So
okay.
Anyway, and that's it. And Jim sends his regards.
I want to thank you all in attendance for being here, and I want to thank Helen Perkins for being online, and Yuba-Sutter Live for being online attending also. Our next regular meeting will be on Tuesday, February 20th at 6 p.m. We are now adjourned.
Yuba-Sutter.live's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at plumaslakeselfstorage.com.
Hi, I'm Neil Goforth of Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties. Caring for elders or even yourself has challenges. Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties can help you address today's issues and plan for tomorrow with in-home and specialized care for you or your family members. Call us at 530-749-8800. Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties.